7 main event and the main fight, and well, that was definitely something. I'll tell you more about what I like the most, and the shock of the Jiri basically ending up where he ended up. That was very, very, I wouldn't say unexpected, but that was something that we wouldn't want to happen that way, the way it happened. So, but yeah, hi Peter. I don't know if you watched UFC, if you've been watching it, but man, that was something. I'm gonna turn off the fan over there, and I'll come back. Okay, there we go. But yeah, anyways, what can I say? Well, let's start from the. I woke up. I'm in Vietnam, Nha Trang, for people that might not know. So most of the UFC events in the United States match my morning. I woke up around at 8 a.m. and that was right at the end of the prelims and start of the main card. Let's start from the beginning. I was very happy to see Cap Swenson doing what he's doing. Hello, Miguel. It's been a while and good to see you. What are you doing? How have you been? You might think this is coffee, but it's not. It's a tea. Phone. Anyways, did you watch the card? And well, how did you like it? My favorite was Pocket versus Blades. That was probably the best heavyweight clash. Maybe not technically, like a technique wise and style wise, more like a real manly fight. And yeah, I mean, Pocket definitely did what the division and the event needed, especially after Race versus Walker. Race versus Walker, like, again, all due to respect, but it was a little bit embarrassing. You're traumatized, and I mean, I think you're traumatized because of Jiri, right? What a great guy Jiri is. Gave his belt to an injured opponent. Meanwhile, Joshua Van planning to pull out of another event to make this title reign longer. Yeah, I was about to mention that because yeah, that was it was supposed to be a first fight of the main card, I think, and versus Tyra. And like a minor injury. That's exactly, if you could do the Google search, that's how it says. He pulled out because of the minor injury. So it depends on the injury. There might be a minor injury, but that you know that there is no go with that, and that might happen. But yeah, it's more sounds like an excuse to me. Hey, Charlie, hi, South Carolina. Well, good to you. Welcome and greetings to you as well. I didn't watch TV and not really into watching others fight and another. I find it boring. Okay, well, that's not a problem. It's this is kind of how my channel is built. A lot of people came in when I started live streaming my painting, but there is also a prior period when I would do a lot of live streaming by boxing, heavy back training, and fights. Basically, I wouldn't call it fight analysis, but just sharing my opinion and engaging in a conversation about it. And since I like mixed martial arts, I do that now. I kind of try to do all of those. Hello, watching from Philippines. Good morning. Well, raise the hands or say in the chat who watched the event. I'm talking about UFC 327. How much time do I have on the goat painting? Well, Peter is here. He commissioned it. I'm looking forward to finish it within the next week, but it needs to cure before shipped, so it take a little bit longer for the time it gets shipped. But yeah, I'm not stretching out. I'm pretty much working daily. Just well, today I'm trying to taking a little break. My shoulder hasn't been good, and both in boxing and painting, it's been translating quite significantly. And I just decided to let it rest, do like a special treatment for it. Morning is good. How are you? Yes, ma'am. I did watch the few videos after I saw the painting. The man behind the camera. Well, he's not here right now. He's upstairs in our apartment. This is like a coffee shop right in the first floor of our building. He might join a little bit later in the chat. Yeah, it's fine. I can wait. No rush whatsoever. Well, appreciate it. But it will be done within I think next week. Maybe at the worst case, a couple weeks, but that's just, to have a good quality in place. What happened to your voice? Sounds like a sore throat. Maybe I'm hearing you after a long time. Maybe, well, my voice changes all the time. And again, no steroids, nothing like that. I also sing a lot, right? So that can affect it a little bit. But anyways, well, Cap Swenson did great. Then race versus Walker was horrible, just because of inactivity. When you have such a fight, both of you cannot hope for being a counter punchers in that case. That's just not how it works. And wait and do it for entire. Okay, maybe round one, and by the time it's the middle of the round two, maybe. But then someone has to take initiative. From the other hand, then my favorite one, Blades versus Hockett, and Hockett killed it. I love that he brings back, that manly American, non-apologetic bad guy kind of vibes. Literally was showing fingers to Blades, and I think partially it caused that dynamic that the fight ended up to be. I think it was a great fight. If we whatever we can call a fight. Then Paulo Costa versus Murzak. I was cannot pronounce that Russian guy's surname, Murzakov or Murzakanov or something. Well, again, that was great finish and great adaptation for Paulo in the round 3. And well, Jiri Prohaska versus Olberg, let's just say, yeah, I see, Miro. Okay, Miro, let's not spam. I mean, yeah, fair enough. Islam definitely is, but couple let's see what he does against Morales. Against Ian Gary, I don't think Ian Gary might have some chances. I still think he can beat Ian Gary quite confidently. Yeah, Mira, you've been there before, so just please, no more spam. But well, regarding today's event, like other fights might happen, and some of them are scheduled, some of them are not. But what happened? I think Jiri genuinely he noticed that Olberg got injured, like his knee got locked, and he couldn't really stand properly, and that's fine. I give props to Olberg, like he is dangerous and called sniper for a reason, even when he's injured, and that's what Prohaska kind of like he showed a little generosity. Okay, cool. We were like, okay, let's see, but at the same time, that's kind of the same thing with Pereira. Yeah, Pereira was also bigger and like a power-wise like for the light heavyweight, he was, even for the light heavyweight, he was big. However, Jiri keeps making the same mistake against similar type of fighters. Like if you looked at the Oldberg, very, if not similar, then kind of similar style to Pereira. A long reach, like a long those like hooks and like a wide range punches, including like that left hook that essentially he knocked Jiri out with. Like literally going with his face. I think it was not only a luck from Ulberg's side. It wasn't definitely luck. I think it was a good timed punch, and he knew that he could do that. And from Jiri, it was rather a tactical mistake, a stylistic mistake again. But yeah, I don't know. What do you think about it? How do I become beautiful like you? And Miguel answers, sex change operation with a lot of facial enhancement and surgery. Well, I wish if surgeries and enhancements helped in that way. Jiri said it himself in the Octagon interview, biggest lesson in his life. Well, I was... And as always, he took it with the dignity and with that like a warrior's mentality. But there is there is a lesson you can, like, okay, you learn, things happen, and you learn from that mistake that you could not predict or you didn't manage to predict. But it almost feels like this chaos he applies, that works most of the time. It worked most of his career. Like, let's be honest, he only, at least in UFC, he lost only to Pereira twice, and now it's in Ulberg. Now he has total like 6 losses, and he's 32 or 35 wins, and 32 out of them like knockouts. Like, he's an amazing fighter. But that chaos, that open, like jerking type of style, doesn't work against very precise strikers with a very long reach complexion. They're very, like, they're not clumsy, they're very, very surgical, and Ulberg was falling under that category. So I think that could be learned, that could be studied, and that could be anticipated. And even when the moment he got injured, the first thing could be like, he still can throw that like dangerous punches. So let's be focused, let's keep the hands in the front range rather than just dropping them and going forward with the face. And well, anyways, I'm just saying you're still my king no matter what. From an autistic guy to another autistic, I love him. Yeah, no, I love him, and I'm sure he's gonna be back. I know he's gonna be back. He still got this. But with Carlos Ulberg, I'm very interested to see how he holds up there as well. He seems very interesting fighter. I like. There is. You also kind of need some guts and experience and that mentality to, once you cannot even properly stand on your posterior leg and still be ready to like fire and still have that confidence, or like at least hope that you still got this. Because a lot of people kind of lose themselves at that point, and they just completely crash. And I think one of the reasons Jiri stopped, because he didn't want to get that kind of win. He was like, oh, like let him recover. He couldn't. Carlos couldn't recover from that injury. If Jiri was more careful, and if, as he said, I thought I already won. Well, that kind of got into his head in that moment for a second that, okay, I got this. He relaxed, and that's exactly what Carlos really needed. Jiri got caught. Ulberg was an injured lion. Injured lion is a very good saying, and Jiri got caught. But why he got caught? Jiri has great reflexes. He has knockout power. He has endurance, the power punching ability. He has everything. One thing that guy doesn't, I wouldn't even say he doesn't have, but he kind of neglects a little bit, is a guard manipulation. Like, really. And maybe that's part of his style, but again, there is always, if you stick to one single style, and if you're not fluid or you cannot switch to or adapt to a game, there's always going to be a style that counters yours. That left hook is a kryptonite. Yeah. It's funny because I think he was throwing the, I don't remember exactly from which stance, but fact was he actually had his own left, he throwed towards Carlos. And the way he's like, instead of laying under, for example, and just trying to kind of lock in that case, that hook would just lay, sorry, it was the opposite side. He actually went like this, but still, if he was like a little bit down or something, maybe it would be not that, but Jiri's thing is he already has quite a long neck, and very often he has his chin up, and that was just frustrating. I mean, I might be just speculating and what if. That doesn't mean that I don't respect both fighters, but it's just frustrating. Like, that could be avoided. That's kind of one of those cases when I think that could be avoided. What do you think about Khabib? Well, Khabib definitely opened the doors for Dagestani/Russian fighters. Relentless wrestling, probably one of the best wrestlers and grapplers in like UFC's history, but a little bit overrated when they put him on the GOAT status, again, like alongside with John Jones or some of the other fighters who are did a reign of the title defenses. He just defended his title like 3 times or something, and that's it. Retired. So a lot of what ifs towards Khabib. Like, I think Islam is way more deserved to be on the GOAT status at this point than Khabib, for example. He will never say that. Khabib is like the central figure there, but just to be fair, that's my opinion. Yesterday I did my first flying kick. It's powerful and as a ground kick. Don't know, but I felt like it was flying for. I was flying for a second. Oh, like flying kick. If it lands, it can be damaging, but I definitely think that low kicks are the hardest problem, or like body shots, like the kicks that you generate from the ground contact and you stay on the ground with one leg while applying the impact, are always like you can generate more force. Good to see you. Hi, Nayan. Seem like a strong woman. I mean, I do boxing and have a little bit more. I mean, he means like a step when he steps or stands on the ground with one foot. Maybe his chin is gone. His style relied on the durability. He has a lot of accumulated damage. Well, that can be true, but to be honest, there is no such a thing. Yeah, you might have just a good structure for the chin, but there's no such thing as training chin. And even if genetically you have a good, so-called strong chin, your jaw has some vulnerable spots that if that lands, it's a matter of luck and accuracy, like surgical. So it's a combination of the factors. but like it's very common this. So there are also specific muscles that are responsible for holding the jaw, and there is also a lot of neural endings. It's like a lymphatic system. So it's like this area is very vulnerable once applied with a certain amount of force. It just kind of shuts you down. So every jaw has that pretty much. It just, some jaws are thick or bone structure is big enough or neck is quite strong. Whatever it is, it's just harder to get there. But everyone has that spot. Everyone can be knocked out flat. So I would not rely on the strong chin, just getting punched in the face and then just like, let's see how it goes. There is the reason why you can, why there is a head movement, footwork, and guard manipulation to actually avoid, not only get the minimal damage, but also just not risk it. Everyone can get knocked out. Didn't expect Costa to get that knockout win. I mean, I thought it could go. Yeah, I also thought it could go like all 3 rounds. But once I saw him on a last round, I think everyone, we just realized that once he threw that first head kick and second one, I was like, okay, he's just gonna go. And it was like just laying flat. That's the one guy's name, I forget. Murkazanov or Murzakanov, I like, that's his surname, something like that. And I forgot the name, but yeah, that guy. It was also his. Paulo Costa broke his winning streak, I think. Well, to see another Dagestani, she's getting humbled. I mean, fighters are fighters, right? You like them or dislike. Sometimes it's about. I'm not particularly fond of the Muslim fighters. For many reasons, like just because they're Muslims. But for example, I definitely give credit to Islam Makhachev. I always say that out of Dagestani fighters, he's my favorite one. Even personality-wise, he doesn't talk much, and if he talks, he roasts DC, and it's quite funny. But you know, we all have our reasons to like or dislike certain groups or cultures of the fighters are coming from. But they're still fighters. They still deserve that respect, stepping in the octagon and doing their best, as long as they really do their best, like engage, wrestle, fight. They're not too hesitant for entire fight. Well, that's speaking of that, like Race versus Walker, that was one of the fights people were like, oh, this, you probably saw the memes, the lines that were like, that gonna be a crazy fight, but it didn't. And it was, I feel sorry for Dominic Reyes, because he just, after being knocked out by Ulberg actually, and prior like losing to Jones, I think his mentality and like he's just so hesitant now. He's like, some people need longer time to work psychologically on themselves to stop being afraid again, for many reasons. And yeah, I'm not sure if he's fully recovered from that. Okay, keep scrolling up. Everyone can get knocked out except my another GOAT, Marvin Vittori. Well, good point. Would that be considered a flying kick? What? Greetings from Germany and greetings from Vietnam too. Are you a fighter? I'm a boxer, but I watch, right now specifically, I watch UFC events whenever it comes up. I try to stay updated and follow others too. Sometimes I follow a specific fighter and end up watching PFL or One Championship as well. My accent is self-taught English. I'm from Georgia, actually. Same country as Merab Valishvili and originally Tapuria brothers. So I'm from the same country, born and raised in Tbilisi. And I'm also, my mom is Russian, Ukrainian, from Crimea, so I know Russian as well. And then I learned English in 2020 by myself. Tried to make it as generic as possible. So I would call it maybe Eastern European accent, something or something like that. That guy was tested and banned for performance-enhancing drug. That is why he's hated. Most Dagestanis inside his team have been tested positive, including Usman and Islam. Oh, that's a good point. And that's a little bit of gray area. How? Yeah, there are a lot of other fighters that there are also a lot of other enhancing supplements that are not considered to be doping. Like I myself, for example. There's like a amino antioxidant NAC supplement that I'm taking that is not banned anywhere, and it just helps to the oxygen to get in. So it depends. The creatine is not banned, and creatine has, I don't know how everybody else, but it has a great effect on me, like with my preparation, and combination of just maintenance like collagen, glucosamine, omega-3. Really helps joints. I mean, almost doesn't. However, that's the thing. A lot of fighters do that, and they kind of do a clean enhancement, which is not banned. And still, it's nowhere near a doping and steroid anabolic substances that are obviously banned for a reason, because it gives gives a huge advantage. And well, yeah. Russians like to call it vitamins, and that is known, even if it's not like proven, but there is definitely a thing about that. And but so do other countries too, and a lot of US fighters. So it's kind of hard to say. Yeah, there are groups maybe who do that, are known or suspected for doing it, but I think more fighters do that, and even the ones that we consider clean and never been caught, they might do cycle in, cycle out, and that's a little gray area of the sport. Oh, Nayam, thank you for the super chat donation, appreciate it. I think Costa versus Roundtree is going to be very interesting. Halil Roundtree, I think Costa wins. One of the reasons is Roundtree was not very long ago, 2025, I think it was like last fight. Prohaska knocked out him like quite, and kind of like he knocked him out in the close or / even winning fight. So it really depends on his person. And Paulo Costa is really doing good at this point. He seems to be completely right in his head and his preparations, great athleticism. So I would put my odds on Paulo Costa against Roundtree. Jiri deception. Well, Jiri decepted himself in this case. He's a capable fighter. Jiri has one very important thing. He has a warrior's mentality. Got knocked out by Pereira twice. Doesn't matter. Came back on the winning streak, pretty much against anyone else. And in this case, sees his opponent getting injured, who is very dangerous. Like someone says, a wounded lion is a very good analogy to Ulberg. And he kind of starts feeling sorry for him and just doing a little bit, yeah, like go here, yeah, come on, like I kind of like you, okay, fine. But then going at him with the open head, when that person is known for very surgical striking, that lesson could be learned without learning it the hard way. Well, he already learned it hard way to a certain extent with Alex Pereira twice. So, man, it really, I love guard manipulation. Even in boxing, guard manipulation gave me so much, because you cannot just go like forward without getting any damage, with your body and head like jerking side to side only. That's not how it works. There's a very good way how to do that. I like that Jiri, like, he can push head, hold forward, hold opponent's head. That's completely good, acceptable. But yeah, he has a lot of openings in his guard. That's my opinion. Scroll up the end to see flying kick story. Flying kick story. Let me see. Flying kick. Oh, I missed a lot of chat. I don't know why. Okay. Another question. Georgia has more police arrests than Khabib after this, so you guys don't even compare. Okay, I missed that one too. Yeah, trying to find for. Well, great fights tonight. Yeah, I cannot. We're not talking about Cap Swenson, but that was probably after Hockett and Blades. It was my favorite one. Like, Cap Swenson is a legend. He's great. And one of my favorites also out of those. I always forget to mention some of the fighters, but Cap Swenson being one of the fighters I've been following for quite a long time. Peter, I cannot find that reference to the flying kick thing. Hi, Gabby. Good to see you. How are you doing? Getting ready for your birthday? No karaoke tonight? No, there will be karaoke a little bit later. Yeah, in the evening. Where's Chris? Chris is upstairs. Maybe he fell asleep again. Maybe he's just working. I don't see him in the chat, but this coffee shop is right down. It's in our building. It's just like on the first floor, so I'll check on him a little bit later. Hi, Texas. Howdy. I'm from Georgia, Tbilisi, the country. Gamarjuba. That's how we say hello. And currently, me and my husband's from Norway. We live in Vietnam, Nha Trang. Today there is no painting. Hi, Mozambique, Africa. Hi. No, today I'm just resting. I'm resting from training, from painting, anything. Like, after a lot of, as some of my subscribers know, I switched my stance, and quite successfully. Now I kind of do both orthodox and southpaw. And what happened in the southpaw? With my left cross, all is good, but my right jab, I've been training it. And that's everyone who did boxing for a little bit, like, training jab is the whole separate thing. It's just like that hand needs to be capable of throw a lot of volume, a lot of like control. And I think I inflamed my, I wouldn't say the joint, it might be just the soft tissues, but it started giving some bad signs. And during painting, it also started hurting because I'm right-handed at the end of the day. So I do a lot of things with my right hand. So yeah, I'm just letting it rest now. Applied some Voltaren gel and just taking some supplements and doing soft movements and letting it rest, basically. I even skipped my sparring sessions on Saturday for that purpose. I was in social media detox due to some anxiety issues and was watching Peaky Blinders. You have striking similarity with the girl who played Thomas Shelby's first wife, the blonde one. I have not seen it. That's why I'm asking. But the social media detox is good. It is very good. I'm kind of glad that YouTube is more like it's more like a job already now, and I enjoy it a lot. But when it comes to Instagram, Facebook, I barely go there myself. So like all other social medias, like really sitting on it, scrolling, uploading pictures and videos, I kind of cut down on that too, and I try to take all the time off and just rest and work on other things, plan things, plan a lot around boxing and that kind of stuff. I repeated it my last message. I don't know, Peter. Well, like it's a little bit odd because your previous message, scroll up Diana to see flying kick story, and I mean I saw the guy saying that flying kick is like a ground kick and flying kick. That's what I saw, and then I repeated my message, so I didn't. It doesn't show anything else for me. Now I feel asleep. Yes, I'm getting ready for my birthday. Is Chris getting ready for his birthday? Well, Chris is Chris is at the age when he's I have to prepare for his birthday, so I make a little bit of surprise for him. It doesn't really bother him much, but we have a rule that we always take a few days like close to the birthday and just do it exactly the way we want. We want to chill, we chill. We want to watch movie, we do that. We want to do something more exciting, like go on the islands and have a little trip. We'll do that. So we like we try to live our lives generally with the pleasure and having a routine, but like really loving it and being engaged into it. But still, sometimes you have to do this, and sometimes you have okay, I have to do this, that, and that. And again, in the birthdays, we kind of indulge in that thing even more, that we just make it as much as we want it to be. Paints Chris. Sends water. Hi, BMCK. Good to see you. Oh, guys, I mean, Peter, BMCK, and some others. I hope you're still... you had a fun last night with the Russian Jason Statham. That guy is hilarious, and that was really fun. Sunflower, tell Chris I said happy birthday. We'll tell him. Is that a tattoo? Yes, this is a dragon tattoo, female face, and katana. You are my fire. You are my crazy. Yeah, I would pay for that, to watch you singing that to Chris. Damn, it doesn't like me. You mean YouTube algorithm? I don't know. Like as I said, I go through. There are not that many messages in chat right now, so I'm going through everything. Hello from New Zealand. Hi. Well, if you're into UFC, congratulations. Your fellow New Zealand person, Carlos Ulberg, won his light heavyweight title. Definitely. I also like how he stood against the pressure. Like people were booing him, not because they hated him, but because just they loved Jiri more, and he was completely stoic. So definitely one fighter that is like I'm liking him more and more now. Chris is always on his birthday present. I hope the Chris has a great birthday. Yeah, it will be fun. What's your plan? What are you planning to do? I think you said it last time, but I didn't read that. Diana, you're a good person. Chris is like, ooh, LOL. Yes, ma'am, I did. No, it's a little bit weird. Like, I see that one now. Such an adorable smile. Where you at? Just a coffee shop downstairs. UFC was empty. You mean the tribunes? Like, yeah, they were saying that people there were not, the seats were not filled up. Yes, I'm in Vietnam, that's correct. Have a question? Okay, feel free. You're also a boxer. Yeah, I'm prepping for my pro boxing debut, so training quite a lot. Oh my god. Booker is gay. Olber is a stripper. Easy is a dog. That country fight. Weird. Ah, that's the way to put dirt on someone, Miguel. Hoping Chimaev to move up and destroy Ulberg. Chimaev, I think he could afford one more weight class. But I'm looking forward to Chimaev to fight. Like, that's the thing with Hamzat Chimaev. And he's having more and more injuries. That's not good, and that's probably a result. I'm not saying that's the lies. I actually think that's true. And due to their training styles, that's a very common thing, and that might be a downfall path. Because when your hip joints and your knees and all of those injuries get accumulative, you just cannot be as good as before. Like, look at the Usman. It's one of the reasons is the age and the increasing injuries. Darren Till, Ben Askren, a lot of fighters, the background cause of their downhill trajectory was accumulated injuries. That's why I'm like with my shoulder, a little indicator. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop for a couple days. I'd rather stop for a couple days and then continue, and it is normal for your body to still sustain muscle mass, to keep everything in check, rather than keep pushing. Unless I have a fight, I wouldn't pull out because of that. In my fight, I would just sedate it, like just put something on it or freeze it up. But when it's a training and preparation, you just need to be, and your team needs to be as cautious as possible when it comes to your injuries. And Dagestani / Caucasian style is Dagestani, Chechenian, even Georgian style is not that, unfortunately. They gonna push through and irritate their injuries even more. So far he's not doing anything. I mean, we have Strickland, we have Imamov, but let's see how it goes. You're doing well, that's how you protect yourself. I don't look at boxing necessarily. Yeah, it gives you skills, it gives you environmental awareness. Like martial arts and combat sports give you a lot of understanding about how things work, because you experience the power balance. It's enough to spar, even lightly, with someone bigger than you, and with a male, for example, to see that you're not. They are so much stronger than you physically. And then that's why a lot of women fighters who actually know the game, they understand how it works, and it brings the environment in awareness and the capacity of starting leaning on the things that is your advantage, your strengths. So that's why with male sparring partners, I always work. To me, priority is technique, the tactical, like get in through the pressure, find the ways how to do that, and that is more important than just trying to, push against them. For self-protection, again, environmental awareness, good athleticity, critical thinking. If you know how to, if you can possess a weapon, and you can, the rifle or gun, and you know how to use it, that is the best self-defense for ladies and for anyone, I would say. But it's not available in all countries. Knowing right people is also a good self-defense. I'm alone home bored. Can you tell me a good movie that I can watch? I'm not really a movie person, but last thing me and my husband watched was The Night of the Seven Kingdoms, and we loved it. It's just they started and cut it off, and that was first season, and I don't know if they're gonna have a second one. So have a good day, Gabby, and enjoy your birthday, pre-birthday, and post-birthday. And you need to start doing a birthday week, like I like to do. You must miss another message. It was funny. YouTube doesn't like me. Well, it doesn't even show. Okay, let me see. View. No, Miguel did not delete yours. He was deleting some spammers, I think. But Tishan Miles is actually, I think been there before, so no need to delete his messages much either. There's some folks are, unless they really do something like too much spamming or being disrespectful, I think it's fine. Okay. Okay. Anyways. Chimaev easily walks through Strickland, and there is no contender in 205 except fight in the next event, Jan versus Gusko. Oh, that's a fair point. Against Chimaev, we need someone who is, if not equal, at least close, good in the wrestling. That's just kind of the thing that is as simple as it goes. What about the Topuria? I mean, I would want to see Topuria versus Islam on the White House like everyone else, but let's see if they do that fight later here. That is okay. For White House, Gaethje versus Topuria. Again, well, Gaethje, they probably wanted to do Paddy versus Topuria, but Paddy showed that he's not the level of even like a past prime Gaethje. Gaethje definitely schooled him, but definitely Gaethje versus Topuria, 100% Topuria. You fight as well. I box. Though technically not yet official. Yeah, like call me a complete beginner or amateur. It's completely. I even prefer it that way. So yeah, I'm gonna do the pro debut this year. Not painting today, just resting. Happy Cosmonauts Day. Come, hooray. Ivan, okay, you're Russian. That makes sense. Should watch Never Back Down. Got me into training when I was 15 years ago. Okay, well, Falcon, I'll look at it. So music and filmic acting. Okay, Never Back Down. It's an MMA movie. Hello, Red. Hi, V-Man. I'm doing well. Yeah, I've just been talking about the UFC event that happened a few hours ago, and well, that was some of the good fights, one bad fight, and well, the main fight was just not what we expected either. Reminder, refrain from spamming, otherwise I will tell you all, no, nobody can spam here except me. Okay, women, but be careful, there are other, like BMCK, Peter, E-Man, Falcon, those are like friends, so don't go too hard, and they usually don't spam either. Ilya versus Salman would be good too. Arman's streams recently has been hilarious. Man is unintentionally funny. Well, yeah, no, his marketing is good. He's now presenting as the Bruce Wayne of the UFC, which is, I mean, good marketing, social media marketing strategy. Is that a rumors? I don't like, but I'm not sure if it's a rumors or actually confirmed. But his wife wants to divorce him or something, which. I wouldn't blame her because he's not really presenting as a family person at all. But yeah, it might be just a rumor. Other than that, what? Yeah, definitely. Topuria Ilya should happen at some point. Like it's just would be a shame if it doesn't happen. Punch. I'm left hook guy myself. Well, since I'm switching stances now, I have few foul punches. Yes, on the orthodox, like ending it with the left hook is I like left hooks very much as well. And the boxing kind of works too because you go like you start with the left and you finish with the left. And in the southpaw stance, I really do like. Actually, I do like both. I do a lot of shifts. Like you throw the cross rather to the stomach or head, doesn't matter. It can be just even more like a one-trick pony kind of. Like you throw it, you already shift, and then you do like a step aside, and you go like a powerful left hook from the side direction, like from the side of your opponent. And you can do both ways, both sides. I practice both sides. But in the southpaw, I found it even more comfortable against orthodox. You kind of go out of the range, leaving that head, blinding them, or even just reaching them, and then you go around and you just boom, like so. That would be my favorite punch on the southpaw. I send an email for proof that I sent a message. No, I believe you. LOL, take your time. I'll look at it and I believe you. I just don't know. I don't understand how it works, especially when I don't see it. Because like if some of you or moderators delete some messages, for example, I can see them and I can still click and see whose message it was. I mean, went through other people's messages, but neither of yours were deleted by Miguel, for example. So yeah, it's like a little bit odd. It's maybe even a lag of the YouTube itself. See you after lunch, and now I'm starting working. I'm a policeman. Well, that's awesome. Have a good day of the service. Did you watch Jiri's life? I did. It was heartbreaking. Just could be avoided. And same mistakes. I hope he learns his lesson now, but he needs to adjust. He needs to add some guard defense and guard manipulation in his game, especially against opponents like Pereira, like Ulberg. One common thing you see between them is a crazy reach and perfect execution of like a surgical strike. It's just not the people you want to open your face with. Thank God I didn't watch UFC, LOL. It wasn't that bad either. It was actually one of the good events. Cap Swanson did great. Race versus Walker. Sorry, but it was good. But then Josh Hockett versus Curtis Blades. That was like they did whatever Race and Walker had to do, even a little bit. They just did everything. It was so entertaining, and very interesting to watch Hawkins, like just his personality. He's like an American bad guy kind of personality, and I think that works. That you need people like that in UFC for entertainment and promoting the not only fights but the whole organization. And Costa versus Musaka, I can't pronounce, like, write his name please, the Russian opponent who fought Paulo Costa, like that guy. Great, good fight, good how you call it, co-main event. So pretty much almost all the fights were good. Okay. That might be true because he's flirting with all the girls on stream. He definitely a player, and don't hide that. How did you see he's wrestling with Giorgio? That second match was good. Yeah, no, I saw it, and there's like no doubt he's just a better wrestler than Giorgio. It's just, say whatever you want about Arman, but he's a very good wrestler. Even their first fight with Islam, for example, he was a little bit behind. I would say he was just a little bit behind before getting submitted. He was going quite toe-to-toe to Islam. Yeah, glad to know we're friends. Your first friend from Vietnam who I didn't meet in Canada. Well, technically I'm not from Vietnam, but yeah, sure. I mean, we'll want to be friends here. Hi, Argentina. Champion. Well, not yet, but try to live like a champion. You think Jiri like he definitely that wasn't staged, so Jiri would not sell his fight, but it was a genuine same mistake, and it was because of the injury of Olberg. He thought for a second that he already has it in the thing, not expecting that he was still dangerous. That was his biggest mistake, and technically, like technique wise, going on the striking exchange with the like a sniper like striker with open head. That's just Jiri gotta learn. Well, Miguel's been here for a long time, and he is gone for some time, and he's back. So gotta kind of introduce you. So Peter, V-Man, Falcon, BMCK are like friends and consistent people here. So try to Bert as well. Hi Bert. How I hope your day has been well so far. It's good. I mean, except Jiri being knocked out like that, it's okay. This card was nightmare for me. All my favorites getting finished, Ribovic and Jiri. Yeah, Ribovic was I think in the prelims, and I was still sleeping during that time. But yeah, I don't know, guys, what to tell you. It's just I think generally that card wasn't bad. The fights were quite entertaining, except one. And the championship fight was not something that we wanted to finish this way. Even before Jiri got knocked out, like Carlos Ulberg, when he got injured and he like could not even stand on his rear foot properly, that was also frustrating because we know that if Jiri would not get finished like that, and if Carlos did not take that like apply that lucky shot, not lucky, not in the sense that it was just pure luck, but risk and win in this case, he would get finished very soon himself. So it was kind of like what people wanted to see is like a 4-round clash and like a finish from either way in the last round, something like that. What's up in the back? I'm back. You didn't kick me out yet. No, I didn't. And yeah, Miguel B. Yeah, Tisha Miles is also being here very often. So yeah, let's not kick out everyone or time out. But also, yeah, please don't spam. Engage in the conversation with each other, with me as well. Such a secret. There's no secret about the juice I'm drinking right now, or aka milk tea with the salted cream. Very good, actually. You're doing UFC now. I have done those kind of live streams before, even more often. But no, I don't train MMA myself. I just watch it, and I train boxing though. Yeah. How's Chris? Did you put him to sleep? That sounds... No, he's fine. He was awake. He was awake. I mean, I don't know what. He maybe fell asleep again or something. I might go take a nap myself after this live stream because I had to wake up quite early for this one. That's luxury problems. I'm not gonna complain much, but on the rest days especially, we'll always try to rest literally as much as possible. And okay, I will be friendly if they don't miss Jiri. Well, guys, you hear the deal, yeah? No one's dissing Jiri. Well, I guess I can. I'm not dissing him either. I was very frustrated to see how it went, but Jiri's gonna be back. You talked about your debut. How did it go up for the next? No, I haven't done my debut. I've talked about the preparation stage. Probably a couple more months and pretty much. I would honestly say I'm all pretty much ready already. Like I already can do it, I think. And yeah, it's just a matter of finding me an opponent, a tournament, or like whatever I can. Manager promoter, but again we're quite skeptical towards a lot of managers because it's trickier than it seems from the first spot. Thanks God I have Chris, like my husband, that always can protect me from any type of like being taken advantage of in that industry. And other than that, it's just having that like perfect or great optimal shape. Like now having a little sore shoulder, letting it rest so I don't end up with an injury or anything like that. I'm already a switch hitter. I already can do. I might not be a perfect southpaw yet, but I'm getting more and more comfortable switching and manipulating both stands. I'm very excited trying a lot of things that I've been working on and training on all this since last year pretty much. European. Technically I am. Well, I'm from Georgia, from Caucasus region, and my mom is half Russian, half Ukrainian, from Crimea, so more like that area. Thank you for this. Do you think Miguel or me, Peter? I've been training 15 years now, 10 years pretty decent, consistent like 3-4 times a week, playing semi-pro soccer. Last 5 years, bad knee injury, getting back to in a couple time. Well, I mean, that sounds good that you're so active and even doing semi-professional and be consistent on it. It's such a big thing. Like people don't realize how much it is. Like it takes athleticity and consistency and like real lifestyle to maintain it. So, well, I hope your injury is gonna be better. If, like football players, all of them suffer with ACL, PCL, and it's just because of a lot of things, a lot of that type of load from those specific angles on the knee joint, knee ligaments and tendons. So it's kind of hard to avoid, but it's possible to keep it as strong as possible. You're the badass kickboxing painter. Respect to your craft. Thank you. Boxer painter. I'm not kickboxer. I would rather do wrestling, and I wouldn't have a problem with that. I actually like grappling and wrestling, comparing to kicks. I know how to do some kicks, but I don't really like throwing kicks. It all comes down to you, Miguel. Don't throw my weight around. I just get it done. No offense, but yeah, I think I missed this one. Well, one thing women does that, Miguel does is actually he's unapologetic to some nonsense in the chat too, and thanks for that. I train kickboxing and MMA wrestling for the passion, helps to stay in shape and just enjoy learning discipline. No, that's great. Great lifestyle. Okay. They don't have small competitions in Vietnam. No, they do. They do boxing tournaments. Actually, there is one tournament my other teammate is doing the debut with at. I don't think they just have a women. at that one specifically. Is obviously women are always at the smaller scale, so it's right weight class. I'm not gonna fight someone Clarissa Shields just because that's the only woman. Like I'm very strict on the weight classes, and I'm going even lower. Like I go like a 48, 51 kgs. Those two weight classes are close, so it's kind of fine. But anything above that, I would rather go to the lowest first, see how it goes, get adapted, see if my power is good, if it's too easy, then it's possible to think about going higher classes. But actually, like my friend who is a great southpaw boxer, she's in the Belgium team, they had like a tournament, and for some reason instead of 54 kgs she fought 57, maybe didn't manage to make weight for that tournament. And she met an American boxer, and she was tiny compared to her. And yeah, she did still great, but I think I didn't ask, but according what I saw, I think she lost that fight. And it's a little bit unfair because she's just too small for it. I knew she would crush at 54 and even lower, but because just maybe it was like a fast tournament and she had to quickly sign up, the coaches had to sign up her in the list. That was the case. So that's why I'm kind of gradually cutting, and I want to be around 53, 52 kgs, just holding that weight to be able to cut down if I need to quickly. Miguel's a good mod. I wish I could save the roast. Come on, be nice to each other, guys. Well, Miguel, be nice. Where will you start boxing? Well, to Southeast Asia, both Vietnam is an option, and Thailand is kind of great for that. They have Phuket and Bangkok. They have, I think they do events. According to my friend who is a coach, and well, he trains his wife as an MMA fighter, but he's involved in boxing a little bit too, and he said like he could help me. If once I need it, I can just talk to him, and he can help me to get onto it. So it's whether that or this, rather Vietnam or Thailand in the Southeast Asia. That's a good start, and then it's possible to let's say do a few fights here, especially if it goes successfully and like clean. Then upgrade the game, go more to the Europe and etc. Get some sponsorships. You know, it's building up the brand a little bit too. Dialed in and never afraid, Diana. Well, never afraid, I would say. Well, I'm definitely better with it. Yeah, I'm right now I'm not afraid of anything, right? But fear is fine. It's about how you deal with it. Okay, guys, well, thank you for kind words. It has been tough, but at least few months much better. Trying to get back to my normal gym. Yes, and semi-pro needs some discipline, dedication. Where would you start? In Vietnam? No. I saw this one, Peter. I'm just scrolling down to the thing. Definitely not a Muslim. Appropriated. Well, yeah, I see a little bit of conflict here. Quarter. Here, I'm already pissed after being done with today's cards. Okay, Miguel, but like before I take out of the moderation thing, because I don't want to. You've been doing great. You cannot, if you are angry, you cannot bail on others. At least not in this environment, because we try to keep it friendly. Okay. So I understand the social media is like good for putting your anger in, but think about it. Like here, like Veman is a great guy from New Zealand, like pretty much a friend already, and Peter as well. He actually is the one who commissioned the painting that I'm working on, and other guys. They're all great and respectful, and you're good too. Like you're great and always been super fun and great sense of humor. But there is always a line, okay? So if you're frustrated right now, maybe it's better for you to go and take out the frustration, and always feel free to come back when you feel a little bit better. But you cannot bail on others. Like, you cannot put that anger on others, okay? So yeah, I don't want to revoke any moderating status here, but I hope we're cool from this point. Okay. Oh, took my seer. Hello, hello. I hope you're doing well. How are you, my love, my darling? Yes, I'm doing well. Seems like a lot has changed. Well, it has changed to a positive. Again, we always wanted to keep it clean, right? And you've always been helping with that. But there are certain people, including you, if someone would started messing with you, I would tell them, that's Miguel, and he's being great here, and please don't do that. So, and if you're angry, that's completely fine. You just need to whether talk about it or deal it yourself. It's up to your choice. But please, let's not bail on each other. And, well, I think we need to control your emotions, children. Again, it's not trying to... All of you guys, you're safe by, like, you're anonymous, like no one knows who you are in the sense of behind what, most of your accounts are for like watching YouTube, so it's not like your face is exposed and someone's pointing at you. I'm actually the one who's like out with my face and identity here, and if I do something wrong, I'm gonna be called out for it directly. So it's not like in the sense of putting a finger on someone. It's just about to keep the environment and the harmony and the balance clean. And that's always been my intention. So control your emotions, children. It's kind of, yeah, it goes for all of us, doesn't it? How you not get hit while switching stances? Well, it depends when you switch. you should not switch while your opponent throws the punches at that point, right? So it's like there are a few ways how to do it. Oh, Falcon, keep up the good training, painting in good energy. Blessings, peace to you and your family. All the best in your preparation in the year ahead. Well, thank you very much for the super chat donation, and especially for those words, because there are times I really need it. I really need that encouragement, and I really appreciate it. So thank you. And so my mother says hi. She made me ask questions. LOL. Well, I didn't get that one actually. So I wish Chris was here, because he would probably get it. How far is Thailand from Vietnam? Not very far. It's like an hour flight, maybe. What is this life about? Well, it was originally about the UFC event that happened a few hours ago, and just talking about the opinions and well, how it went. Some of it was frustrating, some of it was actually quite impressive. So you tell me. She thinks we're AI, not real humans. Well, that was not what I said, but okay. I advise you to learn about Islam. I know more than enough, and no thank you. I'm very skeptical with all of the Abrahamic religions and Islam in the first and the foremost place, so thank you. I'm good with my life. I have a great husband, I have a great values, but I also have a great freedom with a great responsibility, and I wouldn't change my life for anything else. Goof energy works too. Of course, I mean, you shouldn't take yourself too much serious. Isn't it true, Peter? We all need sometimes, so you and me both got this. Have a good night. Thank you very much, and have a good night and good sleep. So how much did you cry, guys? I was literally, I didn't cry on this one, but I was like, no, what, how? That like literally my reaction. I was watching that in our bed, and Chris is like, oh, what happened? And he also turned in, and it's like, and then he was like, no, how? Well, I didn't see how it happened. I just saw Jiri just dropped, and yeah, it was super shocking. Okay, I'm scrolling up. Yeah, Miguel cried a lot. I mean, I cannot blame you. That was frustrating. As much as I was, yeah, that was frustrating. That was really frustrating. Laughter is the best medicine. It definitely is. Well, one of the reasons we're doing great health-wise, both me and Chris laugh and joke and roast each other. Well, he mostly roasts me because I'm a good material for it pretty much every day, and we're just laughing non-stop every single day. Like, we don't have days where we are gloomy or like fight. No, we're like, oh, we always laugh. Okay. Aurelio Castillo likes writing a song. Go ahead, you should write a song. Stay blessed. Thank you, Falcon, again for your words and for the super chat as well. Well, yes, it's 1:09 a.m. Well, it's late. Oh, good for you. You have, it's the last day or one more day you have that is you can rest or yeah. I don't know what's your schedule, but I remember that's what you said, Peter. But my suspicions about the fight, that Jiri solved the fight, no, that's not true. It was, and I kind of understand it to a certain point. Like, he saw his opponent injured, he acted honorably, he didn't try to finish it straight away. Then he went in, but then he relaxed. He thought that he has this fight already, he's injured. But that's the thing, well, don't underestimate your opponent until the very end. And that's how that stupid thing happened. Jiri got uppercut into the air at this point. Well, at this point, he just had his head as a target, like, literally. It's also, from the certain angle that I want to repeat, that was a hook. And you could see his head literally moving, and he was already asleep in the stand. Like, when he fell, he didn't, like, I thought he would defend himself, but then when I watched the replay, he was out during the first after the first punch. Dan is doing a self-portrait painting for me. Oh, you will not get it if you haven't been there from the beginning. Like, explaining jokes maybe is lame, but I will say that it's the goat in the Grand Canyon, and Chris just brought up that it's my self-portrait that looked like a goat, like with that, you know, sometimes with my goofiness and my face, and he likes to compare me to some little weird-looking animals. And well, Merlin is great though. That's the prettiest goat I ever seen. So. I'm honored to look like it. Ank trashing on Jiri, telling him to shut the fuck up. He didn't do in last 90 seconds in the octagon last time. I agree with that. Like, Ank is not the guy, and he have not been back since. You know, he even have not even fought after. So yeah, don't talk trash about Prohaska. Yeah. I'm timing out this person. There we go. I will sleep early today. It's not Sunday. Well, that makes sense. 45. I don't know. He got uppercut in my mind. Oh, definitely was hook, but uppercut. Okay, well, I got you. I got you. Yeah, inside jokes. So Tyson Fury, did he? What is fighting like Saturday? I actually missed this one. I haven't, or is it happening soon? Thank you, Diana. Honor is all mine. Well, thanks for sharing that picture with the goat. Do you ever go surfing in Vietnam? I've done it once. It was fun, but right now we like to chill in the ocean, but not with much of the water activities, which is actually great training and vacation. But well, when Chris was first time in Vietnam, he went to Phan Rang or Mui Ne, which are great for kite surfing, and he even has back in Georgia. He left in my place all the kites and the board. So he would do that like every single day for 3 months in a row. And well, maybe we might do that in the future more often, that kind of things. But right now we're so focused on building things up in training and pro debut that, yeah, that's to really learn surfing or kite surfing. You kind of need to get involved in it for consistently, at least for a couple or 3 months. Well, Jiri will win in the rematch. Well, he needs to change his style. He's not gonna win with the same attitude, because if injured, Carlos Ulberg got him on the clean hook like that, literally waiting him, knowing that he could lose if not the knockout. He seems to be quite stoic, strong guy too. So Jiri really needs to update his game. He has everything except that guard and hands for the defensive purposes, and he needs those. Like, he really does. Pure fight happened today, and I haven't seen it. Did he win? I'm Georgian, not Irish. Pereira versus Gunn, that will be the most interesting fight for a while. I can't wait. I mean, let's see. Like, it's just, for me, Pereira going to the heavyweight is entertaining and exciting. Jerry lost, almost made you cry, and I can't understand you. It was shocking. Gunn relies on the footwork so much, and Alex is kryptonite for that. Yeah, he's also good counter puncher, and he's also pokes the eyes. If he does another eye poke, like they really need to just put him on the lines, like literally disqualify him or something, because it's just no. So hope that fight would go clean. But yeah, for Pereira it would be challenging. But Pereira's aura is quite tough too. So at that level, yeah, it can go. Both can potentially be knocked out. I believe so. But yeah, I don't have exact predictions. It's interesting to see how that goes. I have surfed in California before when I was 8. Yes, real surfing, not boogie board. Yeah, well, they have real surfing here too, like a real surfing board, and that's one I tried. It was fun. I could lay, I stand for a little bit, but then yeah, the balancing is the hardest part when you catch the wave, and catching the wave is the hard part too. Conor Ben also won, and Fury Dominate called out Anthony Joshua. I'll try to get a hold of the fight and watch myself. What's your thoughts on Russia? I mean, nothing particularly against the Russian people. I mean, not the ones that are idiots, but the ones that are smart and educated and okay people. But as a Georgian, I'm not definitely not fond of their government, and definitely fond of our government doing the Russians' deeds in Georgia. So that's my answer. I went skateboarding today. Who's your favorite fighters? Oh, they're quite few. Georgian fighters, definitely. I'll put them as separate because I'm from Georgia and very proud for Georgian fighters being at the top. Pereira, Alex Volkanovski, Prohaska is definitely one of the like fighters I really do like. I like DDP. I like Islam out of Dagestani Caucasian fighters. Makhachev is my favorite. Out of the older ones, like GSP is definitely one of my ideal fighters. Demetrius Johnson, John Jones in his like a prime period, without his personality, more like he's performing as the fighter. Anderson Silva, but again, both have the history of cheating on the substances. However, just purely from their IQ and fighting like performance point, yeah, Anderson Silva is great. Did I say Alex Volkanovski? I already did. And yeah, there are like many other fighters too that I really do like. He's called it inside joke. What do you think about Gable Stevenson being signed in the UFC? Nothing particularly yet. It's just, a lot of times you have people from Bellator, you have people from other organizations or even some other backgrounds signing and interesting background stories and debuting in UFC, but I still think UFC remains like a different level to that day. So their achievements in their past doesn't necessarily mean that they're gonna do successful or the best reign. So we shall see. The world have very much violence and problems. Aurelio, I agree on that one. Her actual favorite fighter is Ben Askren, fortified wall. Well, Ben Askren, actually funny enough, that's what like Ben Askren, you can say that he was very interesting. He was maybe if he didn't have that clash with Dana White and like hating each other basically, and if he was called into UFC earlier in his career, maybe that would be different. But he's one of the good examples of pretty much winning everything else and not really succeeding in UFC at all. Everyone cheat though. Well, maybe not everyone, but majority do, and I agree with that. So it's kind of, yeah, there's like, it's like a minus point to being a GOAT if you're caught on cheating, especially multiple times on the doping. However, it's more like a minus point. It still doesn't diminish. It might diminish a certain fight. Like let's say if you get caught right after, what? Forgot the fighters. For example, the fighter who fought the Michael Bisping when he allegedly actually got his eye seriously damaged, and that guy got tested positive right after. Well, that means that was a legitimate fight. Like even if it's on the record, it says it was, but it's like a minus point and minus fight. That victory is not legitimate, in my opinion, when you're like juiced up that way. But it's like, yeah, it's a very gray area, as I said. Like I don't even have a clear opinion about it. Definitely I have negative opinion of the use, but practically people do that, and you're like, okay, but if most of people do that and they're still great fighters, and what if someone against someone goes with the both are on the doping, then it kind of equals it. Then okay, let's so yeah, gray area. Yeah, back in the day, people all said that best wrestling in the world was Ben Askren. Yeah. To be in the UFC, you need 3 skills. Yes. Yeah, the trash talk, definitely wrestling BJJ, and eye poking. Ideally, if you can eye poke, you can go far. Yeah, Vitor Belfort. You're right. Yeah, thanks for reminding me. Charleson has a quote. Okay, Charleson's wisdoms. If you're not willing to go too far, you will never go far enough. That's the truth, honestly, when it comes to cheating and stuff. Ah, that's a good take. Yeah, definitely an interesting point. Slapping Peter Yan is as good as it gets. Yeah, it's. You shouldn't stop on that. Like, if you go as far, you should go all the way. Eye poking. Yeah, it's a skill. And if you can eye poke without getting a point deduction, that's really a talent, don't you think? Hi, Starborn. Hello, Diana. You know, just here to show love and support, and let's not talk about Jiri lose, please. Well, showing my love and support to you, because you really need it more, I think. But I think we all were very frustrated. Well, careful, Starborn. Miguel will snap. Well, I think he'll be fine, because there is another Jiri fan who is very emotional, and that makes sense. I think we all can just gather and cry together. I would completely understand that. Eye poking is not the important skill. Eye poking and getting away with it is the important skill. Yeah, that's what I said. Like, without the point deduction. What did Piotr do? He's just the chill guy. That inside joke started from after he beat Merab in their last fight. And yeah, after that, I have to slap Piotr Yan. the whole card was just an underwhelming result. Well, I cannot say about that. Like I was happy. Okay, so Cap Swenson, Josh Hockett, and Costa, Paulo Costa. I was pretty much very happy with the result. And well, Race and Walker, I don't know, like that was yeah. I feel sorry for both guys because even they both were like, well, like they both were waiting for each other to go forward, and they were like, it's like when two counter punchers just wait for each other. It's that was exactly that meme. Jerry can't win every single time, even in Tom and Jerry. He's got to lose here and there. Well, it's such an analogy. Watching from Philippines. Hi. I wanted to see Josh get knocked out with respect for him, but that's the point. Like, for me, there's some genuinely nasty guys. Again, don't remember that guy's name, but he was all illegal punches, always disrespect their opponent, just genuinely nasty guy. That was not performative. Well, Josh Hockett is that fresh air of someone has to be a bad guy kind of thing. And like a stubborn child who's getting not beaten up, but he was like beating, and then he got some punching back, and he was like still doing this. That's what we needed, and I think it also made the fight the way it was because Blades was wired to really knock him out, and he did quite great, especially in episodes. He was just a little bit behind, in my opinion. Well, technically, he wasn't behind on punches, actually, like strikes, but he got more damage. And it was like I was actually cheering for Josh Hockett in this situation. That was one of the cases where it was because I don't think he's a bad guy generally. He feels that he's just a great performer, and he's the one who is ready to make that sacrifice of being everyone else can be good guys, and he's that one villain that everyone's gonna watch just for him to get knocked out, and that works. Costa may be a champion again. He looked fast, strong. Well, yeah, I mean, possibly, but we're talking about was it middleweight or light heavyweight? I think he went up to the light heavyweight, so it's interesting. Yeah, it's definitely competition in the light heavyweight now. Seems like. At least at their level, there are few people who might bring a good fight. Race and Walker was a draw. No, Race got the unanimous decision, but even that was it was embarrassing. But I feel bad for Race. He seems like not the same. Like his psychology is not at the right spot right now. Walker was too afraid to engage. That is why two judges went against him. At least Race was willing to engage, but Walker has long and rangy athletic, not easily to reach. You can put it that way, and maybe Race was a little bit more active, and you're right that he's not easy to reach. But okay, first couple rounds maybe. In the third round, like someone had to take a little initiative. In that case, it wouldn't be that bad. But even when Race was successfully landing that good counter, you could feel that both were counter. Even when Race was going on, he was backing off again, waiting that that Walker would do something and Race could counter. So I think they're both just waiting and here and there trying to. A lot of low kicks on both sides, pretty much all the time. Majority of the low kicks only and body shots. And yeah, I don't know. Again, Race also feel like he didn't feel dominating because at some point you're watching the fight and okay, you see that Your opponent is hesitant, yet still dangerous, but you need to start applying pressure in the right way without still being careful, but press and press and press. And I didn't see that from Dominic Reyes, honestly, except certain little fragments. Cannot deny he's a warrior. Yeah, he kind of backs up his like he went like he sprinted on blades and we expected him to get tired, but not really. He actually paced it, and they both. That was quite a great fight. Uh, what happened? What got deleted? I can't deny. Let me go. Okay, guys. Was doing the cold plunge. Feel like a long time ago now. Yeah, that feels the. But yeah, okay. That actually, Lehman has a good point on that. Let's do this way. Miguel, I appreciate you doing a great job, and there are like I saw some of the nonsense like from some people you like delete and you keep everything clean, but some people just come in with the emojis or something. Let's not delete that because they might engage in the conversation, and actually that a lot of times happens that they just engage into it, especially in the little smaller live streams. You know, when it's bigger live streams and people do more nonsense, it's kind of more productive to do it. But unless there is like a direct disrespect or anything like that, or complete trolling or spamming, let's just let it be. So I think V-Man has a good point. But please just let's keep the peace between each other. As I said, that's kind of the warning, but if especially on the smaller live streams like that. But yeah, I don't want to be like in between the fire. Like, I appreciate all of you guys here. So, do you think a repair hammer fist on the already sleeping opponent should be frowned upon? Well, I think it's really a referee's job to be very cautious of that, because there are some fighters who are more attentive and they see if it's clean knockout, they don't go after it, but that's minority. A lot of times it's just an instinct too. So that's the negative part of the. Yeah, that's also a little tricky detail of the mixed martial arts. So referees really need to be cautious, and unfortunately, it's even experienced ones cannot catch that properly sometimes. Eric Nixon is a great coach. I'm really sad for Israel Adesanya. Yeah, it's unfortunately sometimes there is a streak. There's no way to return, kind of, or there is way, but maybe in a lower league. But it's okay to retire. Like, knowing when to retire and when to do something else with your life, like coaching or doing more of the public work. Or there are ways for, or do commentary. There are ways how to do it. Oh man, Diana, why did Carlos Ulberg do me like for... I mean, honestly, I respect Carlos Ulberg. Like, he was the one who was injured. We thought he was the one who gets knocked out, and all of a sudden, he just... You could see, he wasn't panicking, he just recouped, and then he just threw that left hook. Like, nothing but respect to the guy. Very interesting to see how the rematch happens at some point, and how he actually defends his title. No, guys. Uh, that's okay. First of all, I don't want you guys leave. Okay, last chance. And in this case, Miguel, you haven't been here in a while, and I'm very happy that you're back. But you seem a little bit angry, and Viman, you all seem a little bit escalated. You definitely, your interaction between you two didn't start well. That's also a thing. So please, just I want like one thing from Miguel. I would ask is just, unless it's disrespect, especially in the small chat, there are not that many people that come in, and unless it's something very serious, let's not time out anyone. Let's not delete anyone. That's okay. And yeah, also for you, Viman, again, it's like let's try to de-escalate it. Unfortunately, first impression is sometimes the thing that stays, but we are adults, so we can work with it. And I'm not banning anyone. I don't want to ban or delete from channel anyone. Definitely not doing that. But I'm asking you for to. That's actually a good practice for us. Let's just de-escalate the conflict. Like heavyweight with Uncle Live there. Can get more interesting than we think. Okay, you know what? I'll do something that is, in my opinion, fair, and I'll do, if you don't mind, guys, and well, it's feel free. If you're gonna dislike it and you want to leave from the channel after that, that's your opinion. I'm just gonna take the moderator status from both of you temporarily, at least, and just to keep it fair, okay? And yeah, don't take it as the punishment or something. That's not that. Yes, it's our me and Chris's channel, but there's some people that I don't want to disengage with. I don't want them to, be frustrated and think that there's something unfair going on. So just temporarily, I just took, for now at least, before the situation de-escalates. Like that's how I look at it, and I hope you understand. Can you paint dinosaurs? Someone asked. Yes, I can paint pretty much anything that I can see. Well, I can see you now, Viman. I cannot see Miguel, so I don't know, maybe YouTube is deleting. But as I said, I just took out the moderation thing from both of you just temporarily. It's not a huge deal anyways. It's just, it's actually you helping the channel. But again, sometimes things like that happen, and while it's still possible to keep it chill and take time off. So now, no one is deleting like that, and Miguel's not gonna be able to do that either. And now it's up to you how you take it. Again, sorry for that. It's just what I think is the right thing to do right now. It's your world, Hannah. We just live in it. Do what you need to do. I'm sharing my world with you, and again, I definitely don't have. It's a first time situation like that. I'll be honest. It's a little bit confusing when some people that I engage with and been very helpful and appreciating in different times that never engaged before, engage like this. That's a little bit, things like that happen, conflicts happen. And my goal is total correct. He was pushing me. Well, I appreciate, Viman, that you took it that way. I hope Miguel also takes it that way, and he's welcome to be back with reevaluated approach towards you, first of all, because I don't tolerate the conflict here like that. Not like this, and but like uh, whether it starts both ways or it starts from one way and escalates, I just like no, it's just not doesn't work that way, right? Maybe argue after the stream, like email each other or something. Well, that's the point. What's the point of arguing in the thing, right? And I understand the root of the conflict. The man disliked that Miguel started. First of all, he was in moments he was aggressive and mean to you guys, and then he started just yeah, he was doing cleaning off the trolls as well, but also in the small chat he started like cleaning off more of the just people who try to engage with kind of like emojis and stuff. And I understand your point. From his side, he's done a lot of good. He hasn't been like it's been a while. I haven't seen him that angry. But again, that's not an excuse, right? So we're adults, guys. Let's deal with it as an adult. Then I think Race and Walker should have ended as a draw. I kind of think too. Yeah, I would more. It would be more fair as a draw, I think. And yeah, it's just that was a little bit. That was one of the fights. I think the worst thing, even worse than just only grappling and hugging and inactivity in the ground or on against the cage, is when there's literally just moving and bouncing and barely any significant contact, and it remains that way the same fight. So it just made me feel odd for the whole fight. I can tell Demon is a stand-up guy. Yeah, that's in fact, I never had an interaction like that here. That's cool. I just hope we can talk about it. Yeah, no, absolutely. And someone said I said that I called all of you AIs and not real people, but what I actually meant is that you're also kind of in a safe situation, that because yeah, you have your profiles, but it's not your real name and identity number or something for someone to really know who you are. So it's in a kind of safe situation too, to okay, have a conflict but de-escalate it, and at the end of the day it's not like something you should really care about and worry about. It's just more of my responsibility to try to keep it cool, at least partially, I think. UFC. I cannot get angry. If I do, I black out, and when I come to, I realize that I have done. So humor is my go-to. Last time I got angry scared me. Well, yeah, no, I understand that. I think Chris is like this, and he's also, the more we are together also, the more he's chill and like funny and like not taking things like that seriously, not really getting into or trying at least, you know. But everyone's different, and sometimes it's just certain behavior. I saw that for women it was more like a little bit entitlement and unfairness, and for Miguel it's probably not what he intended necessarily, because he always done a good job on being a little bit unapologetic on some nonsense, and that helped a lot of times to keep the chat very clean. But again, the difference is when it's bigger chat, when it's like hundreds of people watching at the time, it really works well. When it's smaller chat like that, and especially when you start clashing with someone who's been here for a long time, all of a sudden it's the wrong situation. And yeah, different people react differently at the time. Like I think I lost capacity for being angry, because if I get angry, like I don't even black out. I just get a bad intention. It happened maybe once in my life when I was like, okay, I'm gonna just hurt that person with intention. It's more than rather than just explosive. So I also don't get angry. There is no point being angry. Watching you increase is by far the best stream I watch. I'm not a big social media guru, but I highly enjoy your stream. It's strong and also wholesome. Well, Birds, thank you very much for that. And again, this situation first time for me as well, and it's kind of interesting to see how we all dealing with it. I hope Miguel didn't just leave angry and frustrated. I hope he will be back at some point with more chill, because this can be the safe space for everyone and everyone can get something good out of it. And if not, everyone is free to go, right? Man, I feel like crying. That's okay. If it's still about the Jiri, I completely get you. I've been through a lot. Yeah, like you shared some of it with us, like maybe just a little part of it, but you can see by a person how they behave, what their lifestyle, what the background from, and some of our backgrounds are different, right? But again, that's how do we learn to coexist with a harmony and respect in the society? We gotta find a common ground, and sometimes it might misalign with our lifestyle and our sense of humor the way we want. But again, if you want to do something your way, you can create your space and do it with your same like circle. But if you want to engage in a certain circle that you like, that you get attracted to, but has their own rules, you just accept the rules. You're an AM, remember, yes, autistic intelligence. It's hard to be a spotlight sometimes. Did you mean, what do you mean? Do you mean the situation? Do you mean the Dominic race in that? Like I'm just thinking, what do you mean, Jim? Okay, my messages aren't showing half the time. I just realized probably YouTube. Well, that thing I cannot do anything about because it doesn't even show the deleted messages. I was even looking through Miguel's messages if there's maybe some, but he actually was not deleting any like proper messages. Yeah, he deleted some of the emojis and some of the trolls, but spamming. So I don't know. I don't know what YouTube does. Good afternoon, Walter. Tell me how long you're to leave. I didn't get that one. I refuse to get angry because anger increases cortisol, which causes hair loss. I refuse to be Dana White. That's a good way to look at it. LOL. Well, I don't know. Maybe Chris been angry a lot of times before because he's completely bald, but he definitely carries that with the charm. Chad and Dana, what's your Chad and Diana, what's your thought on the Derek Lewis and Josh Pocket last-minute addition to the White House card? Entertainment, I guess. Might end up the I mean, the Lewis is fun, but he's definitely not performing optimally all the time, and he's kind of there for money, and you know, his last fight showed that a little bit. However, it might end up the most entertaining fight. Never know. You don't show your ears? It's fine? No, I show my ears. They're completely fine. They might a little bit odd shape, but they're tiny, and I don't have a cauliflower ears. Dana is desperate for American side, especially big guys. Yeah, that's a good point. That's probably one of the reasons. They're trying to make Hockett as the star, but again, Hockett has some. I think he has some materials to be, maybe not the championship level, but at least a star type of fighter that is a contender or whatever. You know, just who brings a good clash and the entertainment. Hope not, we can talk about it. Yeah, no, I agree. Even though it's true. Fight with Ronda Rousey. Me? Definitely not in MMA. She would probably get me quite beaten up. And boxing, I think I would be fine. You need to be polite and respect the limit. Blue Warrior, I agree. That's everyone. They have their boundaries, and it's good to talk about when you have an environment. Also, when people just talk openly, and if you are kind of a little bit, how to say, there are some people who are more sarcastic, and that's their defensive mechanism. Well, you need to drop that too. Try to be decent with someone who is decent to you. Respect is the most important thing in life. Period. It is one of the most important things. Yes. Is that why many Russians are bold? uh, Possibly, Peter. I don't know. Yeah, good one. They wanted to see your ears because they think that you are a fairy. Well, they are a little bit sharp. If I had a little bit more cartilage on my ears, that would look like a fairy ears. Oh yeah, no, she's not as disciplined as before. Well, actually, training-wise, seems she's being training well. She's like 40 years old, and she's training. She's gonna fight against Gina Carano, and she wouldn't take any challenging fight, obviously, at that point. That's the reason she's doing that is for hype. And well, Ronda is quite an ego-oriented person. She really needs to feel that she's the best, and she's still the best female fighter of all time. The truth is, skill-wise, she's in like her judo skill is really great, and that could build. You should build upon it to a certain point. But her striking never went nearly as good as it should be, and a lot of female fighters would be better. Like if you take just the striking aspect, a lot of female fighters in the UFC would just walk through her. And but I think she's in a better shape than we might expect right now. So thoughts on sarcasm in general? Well, hey, it has its own place. Not very sarcastic person, but there are some harmless ways how to make a good presence with a little bit of the sarcasm. And but again, it's not in the conversations like this. Sarcasm, my middle name. Well, you see, there is a ways. There are places where to use it. It's a Georgian Tinkerbell. Yep, message is not showing again. Well, that's weird. Like now, this one I can see. Oh, that's one shows, nothing else. LOL. Okay. Well, sometimes I'm just behind on the chat, so I just need to get there. No, there was no timer. Yeah. No, we get notifications for timer. This is a YouTube problem, I think. Yeah, and I don't think like I cannot do anything from my end. Like I have. Yeah. Hide all the chats, no top messages, all messages. Okay, let's do show all the messages. Let me try, like I just changed it from top messages, I actually moved to show all messages. And just gonna see if that changes it. Is anyone still interested in that fight? Which one? Nunes versus... please clarify, Starborn. Amanda versus Kayla. Well, I think that's a big fight to make between, like in women. It could be a great fight in a women's, like a white card, but it's a little bit weird that they didn't add a single female fight, especially Kayla Harrison is American, so like could be a good addition. Seems like she's been recovering now, so it's possible. But I don't know. I don't know. That's if they do that. Well, they did Derek Lewis, or at least talking about it with Josh Hockett. So maybe they do that last moment as well. There's also so many things might change. Someone gets an injured, or someone like something. There is still time before the summer. Chat, comment the fights you all want to see this year. Go ahead. I would pay to watch Red fight. But definitely. Well, I mean, when I get into pro boxing, there's gonna be probably gradually. Because in pro boxing, you gotta sell your tickets too. So you need to promote your fights and that kind of stuff. So, yeah, it's gonna be possible, I guess. Both actual tickets and the per-view thing. Kayla versus Paulo Picosa for the best jawline. Drew Dober's surprise entry. That's a good one. Yeah, good one. 45 wall. Fighters are different after injuries. They are, but there are some fighters, both in boxing and MMA, who made great comebacks despite recovering after serious injuries. So a lot of times there are types of like injuries that need surgery, and then they actually recover properly, and that it's actually not that much of the problem, because with that specific injury, the whole body recovers and heals. And there are accumulative injuries, which are more like joints wearing off and like inflammations, like soft tissue inflammations. And then usually athletes push through and train through those injuries. And then at some point it just takes a surgery, but then it's a kind of surgery when you need a hip replacement. Well, then it becomes an issue. And that's also the surgery that you would do at the last. So a lot of times, the type of the injuries that are really detrimental is those smaller, accumulative, inflammation-based injuries, rather than this one hernia thing. Because you need to be careful with the back still. But again, there are type of injuries that are maybe more serious, but they are solvable. And well, one person that actually comes from the boxing, you have two people I just remembered straight away, is Tasmanian Devil, the boxer, who literally was in a car crash and broke his neck, and he came back within a few months or something, or like a year and something, and actually like they had a successful winning streak after. And then like Terence Crawford, I don't know what point, I don't remember at what point, but he literally got shot in his head and drew to the hospital. And after that, being completely undefeated, retired undefeated. So, you know what I mean? I would love to say Jake get destroyed by Nate Diaz. Yeah, a lot of people say Jake might not even fight after Joshua and broken jaw, and we shall see. Maybe that's like he already made the hype he wanted. He was gonna go more on promoting role, which he's doing right now. Cicero versus Tommy Boy rematch, of course. Before the USADA era, fighters were better after injury. They used time to get on, of course. Well, there are some ways to do peptides now, and there are some other ways how to completely focus on the injury recovery. But again, if you don't let it give it time, and if you don't do physiotherapy, and if you just go to the training, if you just inject peptides or any anti-inflammatory affecting medication or whatever it is, or supplements, and then you go and still grind and train and you push through the pain, then you freeze that injury, and this is how your preparation looks like. You're not gonna go, it's just gonna keep accumulating, it's just gonna go very bad. Sorry, Diana, I love you in Georgia, but I also want to see Ilya versus. But you don't have to be sorry. Ilya definitely one of the people he needs to beat to shut everyone up is Arman. So absolutely, and I might think that Arman might be definitely one of the hardest ones. Not as hard as Islam, but at least second after that. Armand's social media stuff annoys me. He acting single when he married. A lot of rage baiting too, but unfortunately he seems like he genuinely doing that. It's not like he's just doing this and then he's like spending most of the time with his wife on the children background. He really doesn't seem to really care, and he thinks that he's entitled to do. And well, what can I say? It's not the best example to younger men how to be married and treat their family, especially he has 2 daughters, so that's not the best example for that, but it's a good rage bait and good for his promotion as the social media public figure and fighter. I'm still here listening and reading, just don't have much to add. Well, you feel free to do whatever you want, but you always have a good insight, good opinion. So I would like to hear some. It's dangerous in some cases. Yeah, that's true also. Well, there are some injuries that just no to go boxers. They just a lot of times they'll say no to go for those kind of things, but doctors like to say also, oh, okay, you can do this or that after, like I've been told you cannot do, I have like a minus in my eyes, and one doctor told me that like no way I can do, not even boxing, but not even weightlifting, and then I went to more like a sport oriented one. It's just like, that's a bullshit, you've been doing it for years, you're adapted, you're fine, your eyes seem to be healthy, I mean, we checked and everything's good, and I can even do LASIK surgery and fully recover my eyesight, so it's really, and as an athlete, obviously you take a risk to a certain extent, but that's why I'm also pro training in a smart way. Training should not be / fighting. Sparring should not be / fighting. Everything should be preparation for that biggest outburst. Would warn an opponent about an elbow or knee to the face, from example. Well, obviously not in the boxing. But I like using my hands, my shoulders, like even my elbow as the defense, like a lot of times. And yeah, I like to diversify, like stomach, head, angle cutting. So that's how I intend to get on. I think the TRT leader, the legendary, was born after he got injured. Fair point. Also cost Bisping his eye. It could happen without TRT too, but still, it's the scale how much the enhancement steroids, basically the anabolic steroids do enhance your power and your endurance and your muscular recovery. And everything. It's quite big significance. I'm listening to just busy in real life. Well, being busy in real life is good. Islam is a perfect model for good behaviors and comfort. So, yeah, I couldn't disagree. As I said, Islam is probably one of my favorite Dagestani fighter. Like that, someone actually seems to be decent. Doesn't act weird. Like again, yeah, he's Muslim and stuff. Like they are very avoidant of women, but he seems to be more chill and funny and like giving interviews, kind of like he's quite cool. Whether Khabib has like a big opinions about what women should do and don't, and he's entitled to that opinion, but it's a little bit frustrating when there is a path of discipline and self-excellence and making yourself stronger, stoicism, and mixed martial arts is one of the greatest environments to provide you that. And you tell women that women should do women's job, which, well, I can do my women's job still. I can take care of my kids perfectly well, and I can actually spend most of my off training time with my family creating art. That's completely fine. But why do you encourage me to be weak when I need to be strong to support my men? I need to be strong to be able to raise good kids with strong values. They need to see their mother focused and capable and stoic, same as their father as well. Like that's and this is what social. So, like, I didn't disagree with him on differences between men and women. Like, men and women shouldn't compete in the same category. Of course not. But as I said, coming from the Caucasian country, and in Georgia they also have a lot of, like, oh girl, like, why you're fighting, like, seeing you're hurting your face. Okay, but I'm fighting a woman. It's like between me and the other girl. Like, well, why does it even matter to you? It's not like a man is beating me up badly or anything like that. And it's also a little bit pathetic because when they see a lot of guys working hard, gaining CTE, brain damage almost like over their career, and they're like, yeah, you're like, should keep fighting. So it's almost too extreme on the men's side too. That's kind of normalized, but that's also should be normalized. We should get stronger, but we need to encourage people to be healthy and safe at the same time. So anyway, sorry for ranting on that, but just wanted to share my take. That's why, when people ask me about what do you think about Dagestani fighters and Khabib, is like, I have a lot of respect in some things, but they're definitely like, I wouldn't ever leave by their. And so I'm coming from Caucasian country. It's not very different with a lot of things there. And I could marry Georgian, but I'm not married to Georgian. There are reasons for that. I always listen. Mom taught me, well, listening is the virtue and very strong quality. You can see so many people and their faces while doing that. Good morning. I can't be busy at 2, 3 a.m. Well, fair enough. Only if you're feeling sleepy. I mean, I could tell you that your circadian rhythm, you need to, but again, I'm also happy having you here, so feel free whenever you need to leave, just feel free. How many times have you done ice baths, Red? I would imagine a lot due to your training and sparring. Not really. You don't want to build up that tolerance. You want to have that shocking effect. And in Southeast Asia, it's easier, obviously. It's like warmer, so it's good contrast between the ice water and then the temperature. And I try to do it strictly on the recovery days and not all the time, like every now and then. There were times I was showering in the cold water and I would do that for 6 months at the time during the winter period back in Georgia as well. But again, in reality, you just build up the tolerance, and you want to have the contrast effect. Eddie Hall is going to fight Tommy Fury. Eddie Hall I love Eddie Hall. He's so great. He's actually quite impressive athlete. Swimmer, strongman. Not a bit. I mean, he might not be conventionally good boxer, but he got it. So yeah, I would watch it. Tommy Fury is honestly so handsome. Oh, okay. That's nothing for me. What do you mean, V-Man? Can that Tommy Boy fight Cyril Gabe before Alex and gone to the Shadow realm? That could happen. At least believing, but everyone can do mistakes, but to guarantee as much as we can the rest in the next life without punishing or less punishment from our mistakes, if we have goodwill, judged by mercy. I mean, that's maybe that's what happens after this life. Eddie Hall is going to give Tommy CTE. Well, yeah, you don't want to get punched by a strongest man, one of the strongest men in the world. Damn man, V-man, that message didn't show, LOL. Good. I think about me, my love, I love you so much. I agree. Adorable. I agree, probably at that point I was talking about the martial arts and women in it. Everybody's different in the patient personality. Thoughts on Tapuria moving to boxing? I think it's a massive mistake. Well, it's a big money. Money-wise, that's not a mistake. However, yeah, he might hurt his legacy a little bit. However, it's very interesting because Tapuria's training completely separate. They there is a Georgian boxer, Lasha Guruli. They actually grew up together with Tapurias, and the more you hear about him, you'll see they train very commonly together, spar. So they might be doing a pure boxing training, and actually he might adapt his boxing footwork completely and do a decent boxing. So I don't know, like Tapurias are really interesting when it comes to their approach to training. Vietnam unknown gamer. Yeah, I don't know what that means. Now Taptura has a great chance in boxing, no lie. Well, that's what I said, because they train boxing separately, wrestling separately, and they actually been doing the boxing training. And I think what they're showing us is also one of the things they're doing. They don't show everything. They're full real training. I'm not joking about Eddie Hall, it's scheduled. No, I'm not saying you're joking. I'm definitely, we want to watch it. To eat and earn money is not a mistake. Yeah, it's like, depends how you look at it, that's true. It's okay. Would you ever box a male? I box males all the time, but we do technical, purely technical boxing. That means they drop on their power and partially speed as well. Well, maybe not some of them, because some of them are not competitive boxers, so their speed is not actually as fast as mine. But yeah, a lot of like, so I box, but they help me to prepare. So I would not do a real boxing fight with a male. Just wouldn't. Even if I'm very good at technical, like I'm probably not gonna give them much damage. And with their single punch, they will really wreck me. So that's how how disparity feels in this case. Overreacting is a mistake. Overreacting is usually not good. Yes, it's not good strategically not good for the image. Neiman, I was about to read your message, but it got retracted, and I hope it's you. You just decided it, and not be YouTube or anything like that. Okay, y'all, I'm not tired, but I must sleep. I need to get up a decent hour to be able to go to bed at 10 p.m. tonight. Well, that's fair enough. I'm gonna wrap it up soon anyways. I respect him as a fighter, but as a person, nah. Taptur, by the way, after he fight Arman, maybe. Fair enough. There are some things I like about him. I think he has strong mentality, and they are smart, both him and his brother. But there are certain things that like saying that, oh, I'm not gonna fight Arman just because he bailed on Islam or whatever reason. That was not a smart thing to say. The way he said, because that was easily picked out of the context, and now again, until he really fights Arman, that's always going to be a question mark. So I agree. How you know how you will get tired when you box if you don't punch full power in sparring? I might punch full power, but I also don't do that all the time, because what you do actually, you train a lot of that part on the heavy bag, and this is how it's underestimated. In sparring and generally in heavy bag and everything you train, you have some parts of training going to be more explosive, harder punches, and it literally shows you train, let's say 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes of harder combos, and you build up your muscular endurance capacity, and you do that strictly in a certain days throughout the week. The rest is more of the pacing. And then what you do, if you don't really want to get tired, if you just swing hard punches, even if it's trained capacity, it's not going to be really sustainable. But what my with the kind of work I do increased is I throw a lot of punches. I set up, I push, I cut angles, I do certain combos, certain elements that just gonna be used and are used already in my sparrings. And then I have, let's say, 60-50% punches of like, I like Lomachenko style. So yeah, in some cases you one hard and just you see the situation, you just go for a knockout for the person. But in a lot of situations when it's actually equally good boxer, you do like a Lomachenko style. You do someone said like tippy tap punches, and then you open it, and then you go harder like a 1-2. So it's a little puzzle in my head that I've been building up. But obviously, guys let me punch them harder. But even for me, yes, I punch harder, but if I overcommit on those, like that's not how it works. It still needs to be snappy, and it needs to be in the right, like correctly timed. So this is more kind of the work I'm focusing. And getting punched, it's fine. I've done heavier sparring with girls back in Georgia, actually, before getting even better into sparrings. And even at that point, I was like, yeah, I'm fine with punches. Like I really am. And that girl actually got frustrated because her coach is like, oh, you cannot do this, and she because of the pressure and overcommitting, she essentially got tired. I got tired too, but I was more stable, you know what I mean? And that was before I started cutting angles and before I implemented all the elements that I'm doing now mostly, and switching stances, so being a switch hitter. So again, it's building up a lot of things, and I do punch hard when it's needed, but now I really also train myself to really time it well rather than just overcommit. It takes a lot of energy when you overcommit and you miss that punch. Trust me, that wears you off, and that is part of the boxing. You let them do that. Try to let your opponent do that as much as possible, so their body starts wearing off without the impact on you. I like Elias' personality. His delusional self-confidence inspires me so much. Well, that's the funny thing, but so far he actually proved it. And so it's not that delusional. It's just a little bit too unrealistic for most people. But as long as he makes everything to back it up, yeah, it's a risky game. But as long as he does that to back it up, I think that's can be quite legendary. It's a little bit of a risk, of course, but I think it's calculated risk. Interesting. Until the next time, it's like a light switch. Okay, Peter, see you next time. Have a good night. Believe and make your choices, and slowly it will lead you up to the right thing in discipline. That's correct. Okay, Red, give the Chris a massive hug and kiss from me. I will, definitely. I'll kiss him and say that's from. I'll whisper in his ear, that's from me, man. Okay, have a good one. Top tier fight IQ is also underrated, but when he speaks, you would think he's dumb. I mean, maybe, but it's a little bit funny because he and his brother and his family, I think they know like 5 languages. They know Russian, Georgian, they know German, they know Spanish, English, like at least 5 languages. So I think it's just sometimes it's in English specifically, it might be the language thing, because in Georgian, like it sounds different because I heard him speaking Georgian too, and he's actually more fluent in Georgian than English. That's for sure. I'm glad you're in a good gym. Oh yeah, and at this point in my life, I would not tolerate it. I would just switch to gym if I saw a nonsense, ego, uh, toxic, competitive environment. Beg Works tells you if your punch your arms are pretty reliable, it's not a big concern. The problem is keeping responsive as an actual fight because the nervous system can get tired, you'll feel drained. That's a good point, but that's why you need technical sparrings, because what you do, you cannot build that skill of timing. Like a lot of things, a lot of head movement, and I rewatch my sparrings, I was like, whoa, I actually like move exactly where that I didn't used to do. But the reason is because we've been doing a technical work with the punches, actual punches, but not with the punches that they try to kill me. My sparring partner, especially if they're bigger, they shouldn't try to kill me. And I should communicate. If they go too hard, I need to tell them that keep as fast as you do, because I need to be able to react to that speed, but don't really knock that head off. Don't kill me with the liver shot, because that's not the point. I'm never gonna, my brain's gonna build a resistance. And now with a stronger impact, and I got to, obviously I get punched here and there, and like harder punches, because sometimes it's just automatic. But the point is, I learned how to manipulate guard. I learned how to do head movement. I'm building a pattern that is not, I'm not afraid to like punch, go set, and go dig even more in. So now it's just possible to practice the combinations like in the chess game, rather than just combos, like a simple and straightforward combos only, especially when you're lightweight, and especially when you need to get as much angle advantage as possible. And then when it gets harder, when you test yourself with harder sparrings, not necessarily to the head, it can be like harder sparring to the body and like volume punches to the head, but you need to make sure that you time properly, that you retreat, you find a way how to work it around. It's just getting better. Trust me, it's getting better, because if you go hard, and that's the mentality in Georgia. And back in that gym when I went for the sparring, and they put me with that girl, she's a little bit younger than me, so it was like, yeah, let's work. All good, I'm nice to her. But she's under that pressure because her coach is like, what you're doing, you're not doing well. She started crying just because. And I literally went to her and told her, you were actually winning it. Like, if that was actual fight, you were winning it, but just chill, it's fine. Like, don't overcommit. She exhausted her own self against me at that point, and that pressure, she never gonna learn more than this 1-2, like straightforward work. She does very good work with like a jabbing, retreating, hopping games, but more just a straight back and forth, and that's it, like in the Soviet boxing style. And that was my point. You cannot have heavy sparrings and learn that, because your brain's gonna build up the resistance. Good on, young lady. I can smell that Chris is cooking. Well, I hope he does. To be honest, I didn't think about that. You're right. Saptura speaks like 5 languages. I don't like toxing and ego. And not most of us don't do, but it's good for the rage baiting. I would never do that. I used to do walker tournaments, and we had the full brackets in for 2-3 days. Even when body is rested, you just feel too drained to actually move. Like your brain does not want to pay attention, put effort. Well, then you need to look what is the wrong. Sometimes it's psychological. Sometimes it's just you build up so much emotional stress on yourself that you're just. Sometimes it's a body recovery. There are, even now when I train systematically and hard and I have good progress, there is this moment when it starts, I'm just feel tired. And you know what I do when I'm tired? I sleep and I rest. And I sometimes take a day or two if I need to, especially as a woman with my specifications for my body, and I just rest. But then I come back and I continue on growing, whether then we would have, you cannot miss a single training, otherwise you're not going to be a champion, and you live under the constant both psychological and physical pressure. You don't recover enough, both neither physically and psychologically, and that, I think that is the problem. It gets accumulated, and there is whole separate work on the mentality. trust me, so much I'm working on my mentality. But there's so many if, like so many doubts, like, oh, what if I'm not good enough? What if I'm not fast enough? What if I'm like, all of I'm training is like, but that's all in my head. And then when I start, no, let's, if there are any gaps, let's work on it. And reminding myself that's going to be a fight. Obviously, the other person going to be able to, they're going to want to punch hard and go on me straight away. However, when I start looking at examples of the boxers that I'm looking up to, that, well, how do they manage to completely control the thing? Well, that's the thing. They control their mind. They realize that just to fight, and they actually can use someone else's aggression and anger or pressure against them with the right technique, right boxing, right timing, right a lot of things. It's not perfect. They get punched sometimes, but that's okay too. You know, it's like not, as long as you don't get in this position and you get punched out. This is the worst guard, when you just use guard for locking in without moving out of the corner, getting the right position for yourself. You know what I mean? So I'm just focusing on those aspects, and I'm doing my best to work it all up, and therefore back up the mentality that I should have, the mentality of being as stoic as possible and do what I have to do there on the ring. It's common for tournaments. It's called the CNS fatigue. Yeah, exactly. That's the CNS, the central nervous system fatigue. Your body's messenger system that tells you muscles to pull or push fast and hard. This can get tired, and even if muscles aren't tired. Yeah, and it's as I named some of the factors, but there are many more factors to that. And champion has name Charleston, Bronx, Oliveira. Well, technically he's the BMF, but gotta be honest, despite all the love towards Charles, that wasn't the BMF fight. But anyways, guys, it's been quite a long stream, and my phone is dying, and I need to just chill today before the later karaoke night. So thank you very much, and I see you in the next one. So most of you are going to bed anyways, so have a good one. We learn from our mistakes is what makes us put our message in life if we do. That's good one, Blue Warrior. I agree. Batman's coming for him. I was gonna look at it for sure. 45 well, good day, good night. Absolutely. Anyways, ciao, and yeah, don't cry much about Jiri. He's gonna be back, I'm sure, but it were quite a good fight on this card. Just gonna wrap up with the last UFC commentary for the 3-2-7 event. I think it was not as bad as it could be. I think he puts too much on the CNS and thinks it's more separately than reality. Cool. Ciao. Return quiz very soon. Great to see you. Yes, good to see you. Hi, bye, bird. My Jiri body pillow. Go ahead. Okay, yeah. Have a good one. See you next time.